Arise News channels has stayed true to its desire and commitment to provide a comprehensive coverage of the 2023 general election from day one. From in-studio interactions with dramatis personae to the elections, to our widely followed town hall meetings with them, to enormous human and material resources committed to equitable coverage of the campaigns, it has indeed been one heck of a time for Africa's premier television station. And with less than 24 hours to the presidential election, Arise correspondents are standing by in all states of the Federation to set the stage for the big one, as well as elections into the two chambers of the National Assembly. Now we'll be joining Arise correspondent Ovietemi George in Bayelsa to give us an update on what the mood is like and what the situation is like in Bayelsa. Ovietemi, thanks for joining us on Newsday. Bring us up to speed. What's the mood like in Bayelsa State? How are people preparing for tomorrow's election?
Thank you, Temitope. It's a beautiful day in Bayelsa. The weather is clement. As you can see, I am standing on a road called the Azikoro Road. Just look behind me. Not much of vehicular presence. And that is because the Bayelsa State government declared a public holiday for its employees to enable them travel to participate in the exercise tomorrow. That's talking about an opportunity to vote, to perform their civic rights in the far-flung communities of Bayelsa and also the winding creeks. Well, I would say many are ready to vote. The 2023 general elections are very crucial, they say, and I have some of them standing by to talk to me about what they think about this election and how important it is, not just to Bayelsa State, not just to the Niger Delta, but to Nigeria as a whole. Prince Mark Ake is an activist and, of course, a youth leader. Prince, many have traveled for this exercise. What are you still doing here? Do you have a PVC?
Of course. As I was talking now, I'm already set. To further make a confirmation to that, I've just dotted 4 years ago I used this instrument and it's going to be useful this time around again. My bags, everything are packed in my vehicle. In less than 5 minutes time, I'll hit the road. And I'm calling on all Nigerians to make sure that they come out this time around, because any mistake we do now definitely to reflect the next 4 years of our living standard. We have passed the past 8 years, we have had the ups and downs, and we just believe that and encourage every other person to come out and do the needful. Voting is your right, and vote wisely. Make sure it's a violence-free. We thank God for the beavers. It will reduce a lot of violence that we used to expect. So as you can see now, the roads are dry, and we are all just very set, and I'm hitting the road. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, how crucial is 4 years? Perhaps 8 years if they don't do the right thing. Now, they want to do the right thing. Yes, Francis Epe is also here. Now, they are talking to me of how prepared they are. You are from Nembe or Brass?
I'm from Brass.
Are you traveling to Brass or you're voting in Yenagoa?
Well, I'm traveling to Brass. In the next 30 minutes, I will be leaving town. I'll be going to my village to exercise my civic right.
What are your expectations going to this crucial election on Saturday?
Well, you know, since last year or some 3-4 years ago, we've been preparing for these elections. And I know that this election is going to be one of the freest elections in Nigeria. And I know that the best candidate will definitely carry the day.
I haven't seen your PVC yet. Do you have one? Because okay, you can turn it right. Okay, the right way. Okay. You show it to the camera.
My PVC is here. I'm going to vote in my constituency tomorrow.
Besides the presidential election, you also have National Assembly elections.
Yes, I know. Well, it's going to be an election that involves both. We need to vote for the president and the National Assembly members. I'll do my civil rights tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Okay, they come one after the other trying to talk to me that the people of Bayelsa State are very ready to perform their civic rights on Saturday. That is tomorrow, just a few hours from now. They will be casting their ballot to choose who they prefer as president, and of course, House of Representatives and the 3 senatorial districts also. Roland Elekele, how ready are you?
Very much ready. Because for the past barely 6 years, I've been 2017. I've gotten my PVC, though I don't have the PVC right here because this morning I was about to pick it up from my house where I kept it, but I said, okay, I have to be careful. Let me not start moving with it. That's why I didn't move with it. But I'm very much ready. Very early by 8 o'clock, I'll be at the unit to vote to my choice.
Okay. Now, Bayelsa used to have pockets of violence.
Timid, I
but it
apologize.
appears the narrative has changed.
Let me just interrupt you.
Yeah, the narrative has changed because we have 3 outstanding candidates. You understand? So the 3 outstanding
Let me just interrupt you there. Unfortunately, we have to take a bit of breaking news. Thank you so much for that coverage, Ovie Timid George. We will be coming back to you now. In this breaking news, the Independent National Electoral Commission has postponed the Enugu East senatorial elections earlier scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday, the 25th of February. Now, the cancellation was a result of the murder of the Labour Party candidate for the elections, Oyibo Chukwu, who set ablaze alongside 5 others while he was returning from the campaign trail. The chairman of the Labour Party in the state, Casimir Agbo, described the death of the candidate as shocking. And we have a RISE correspondent, Jemima Bolakor, joining us now from Delta State to give us an update on how the electoral processes are unfolding the day before. Thank you so much for joining us, Jemima. Can you give us an update on what the mood is like right now in Delta State, how the people are faring, and maybe what security presence looks like in certain parts?
Yeah, hello everyone. For sure, I can tell you the mood has been very frustrating for people in Delta State, especially with the redesign of the Naira notes and fuel scarcity and insecurity. Well, I'm at the Nigerian Bar Association here in Delta State chapter, where international observers have been around to observe the Independent National Electoral Commission materials. I'm going to be speaking to the chairperson of the International Federation of Women Lawyers here, which is Stella Mejulu here. Stella, can you give us a sense of what happened in this meeting? Earlier on I saw you with some international observers. Tell us what really happened.
Well, good afternoon, Jemima. They were here, like you saw, to pay a courtesy visit on us and also as observers in Delta State. They deemed it fit that FIDA, International Federation of Women Lawyers, we are a credible organization, international organization. Hence, they deemed it fit to visit our office and then to intimate us that they are in town as in international observers. And then they wanted to have feelers of what is happening in Delta, how the electorate view and see the tomorrow election, how are the voters prepared for tomorrow, if we have an even distribution of voters card, if there is proper voter sensitization and all of that. So those are basically what they came here to have interaction with us. And so far we were able to tell them what they came to hear. Yes, in Delta State, we don't have any problem, as it were. Voters are duly educated. And then, of course, with the Beavers, introduction of the Beavers machine, the election is a different scenario from the usual process we have always had. So we've noticed that people have gone round. We have people named the canvassers and what have you from different local government, different wards, who have gone round, trying to round the clock, trying to sensitize the voters, trying to educate them on the Beavers machine, how they are expected to vote. So far, even from what we Fidans have gone round to see with the electorate, I think Deltans are prepared for tomorrow's election.
Earlier on, I heard something, if I'm not mistaken. Can you correct when I heard about 1,995 people are only the people allowed to vote for tomorrow, or out of 3 million people in Delta State? Is that correct, or I must have misheard?
No, it wasn't. And I was happy before they left us. They were satisfied that that was a misconception, because we were able to go into the INEC data base and were able to reel out the real and correct figures, giving them the exact figures for the women, the men, and the youth. So they left here knowing that that figure was in error. In fact, we even had to call INEC office here to correct that impression. So it's way below what is expected. In fact, that could suffice for the new registered voters in the state, and not the entire voters, registered voters or voting strength in the state.
Do you think I heard you guys visited the Obuzo of Ibuzo Palace. Do you think how prepared are the locals for this election in terms of insecurity and the rest? Are they sensitized the people enough for them to put this calmness and seamless election for tomorrow?
Yes. While at the Obuzo's palace, the Obuzo welcomed them and also assured them that if they wish to come to Ibuzo to observe the election, that he's telling them they are very free and welcome, because Ibuzo as a community, it's a very calm and peaceful community. In fact, he made mention to them that yesterday, in fact 2 days running, there is a group of youth in the community called the Peace Ambassadors. The Peace Ambassadors are on the payroll of the local government office, local government secretariat. So the Peace Ambassadors took it as an assignment, and they had to go around town sensitizing people about the election, and also telling people that they will be on ground to ensure that there's proper peace in the community. Ibuzo also have a group called the Surveillance. They are also on the payroll of the state government. They are pensionable staff. So they are also there to be on ground to do the work. So the Obuzo, the Nigerian police are not left out, the civil defense and all of that. So everybody, the security agents, all of them will be on ground tomorrow. So the Obuzo assured them that Ibuzo is safe and secured for them to come in and observe. And so far, he also made mention that there are proper sensitization of the electorate in his domain. There have been a door-to-door sensitization.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much.
Well,
yes,
Jemima
you have
Bolongo.
heard the security forces are present. The Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Ari, said 11,500 police officers on ground for this election. So they are fully prepared for the election, for a seamless election tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Jemima Bolongo, live in Delta State. Thank you so much for that reporting. We now join Arise News correspondent Tokunbo Oyetunji, who is covering what the election will be like in Lagos. Tokunbo, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. Give us an overview of what's happening a day to the election.
Thank you, Temitope. Lagos, the state with the highest number of PVCs collected, 6.2 billion expected voters. Prospective voters will be expected to, well, let's hope that a good number of out of that figure will be filing out tomorrow to participate in the presidential elections, which begin in just a few hours from now. We've been on the streets gauging the mood of the people. We're here in Ikeja, the heart of the city, gauging the mood of the voters. Majority of the people we have spoken with here have told us they are excited and they are more than ready to participate in the exercise tomorrow. First, some of them told us, some of them showed us their permanent voter cards, with some saying anywhere they go, their PVCs go with them. So the mood on the street of Lagos, as at this time as we speak with you, is that of excitement and is that of anticipation to participate in the exercise tomorrow. But we must tell you that the situation that has existed before now is still existing. Of course, you know the issues: cash crunch, cash crisis, petrol scarcity, and the rest of them. And the issue of cash scarcity was worsened for majority of the people who spoke to earlier today, because some of the banks we visited actually closed. Two of them closed earlier than usual. They closed for business at 12 noon today, leaving some of the people, the customers who had been out very early in the morning to see if they could lay their hands on some cash stranded. In fact, it was a pathetic story for one bank customer who had to approach us to see if he can get something from us. We couldn't even access the cash ourselves, so it was very bad. So that's the story for majority of the people who are out here to actually get cash, but they were unable to. We saw people too queuing for fuel, and some of the transporters that were spoken with were at a bus park here in Ikeja. Some of the transporters that were spoken with here today actually have been lamenting that the business today has been very, very slow, because in their estimation, not many people are out on the streets as against what they think is the usual. But aside, that we can call some negative aspect of it, the positive aspect of it is that despite all that, majority of them, in fact, we have not seen anyone who told us he or she is not ready to participate in the exercise tomorrow. All the people that were spoken with are excited and they are full of anticipation for the exercise tomorrow. And they told us as they wake up tomorrow, they have their breakfast and they'll be filing to their polling unit to participate in the election.
Well, Tokunbo, thank you so much for that. But it does look quite busy around there. I, for some reason, was expecting maybe a little less foot traffic. Have you spoken to any of the people around to see how their movements will be scheduled for tomorrow? Because obviously this kind of activity will not be taking place tomorrow.
Well, ours is just a few minutes before 4 o'clock, and you know what that means in Lagos. Closing time, congestion on the streets. Earlier on, when we arrived here, the street was almost deserted, just like adjoining streets around here that we had driven around in the course of producing our reports today. But expectedly, Lagos on a Friday evening like this will be busy, and what we can deduce from that is that majority of people are closing from work and are going back home in preparation for the exercise tomorrow. And as regards people's preparation, like I told you earlier, majority of the people that were spoken with, not just here, at other parts of the town, they expressed willingness, they expressed readiness to actually participate in the exercise tomorrow. I went as far as asking them if they know where their polling units are, and the answer has been in the affirmative, and they are anticipating that tomorrow will come. And I asked them another question, whether they think their vote will count, because some of them that were spoken with said they have not been voting before, but this time around they will be voting and they're expecting that their vote will count. Another point that we must not fail to let you know is that majority of them are saying no matter who emerges the winner, whether or not is the candidate that they support, what they just want is somebody who understands all the issues and who will go ahead and tackle all the issues headlong for the next 4 years, so that their lives can become better.
Correspondent Tokunbo Oyetunji, thank you so much for reporting. Now we'll move over to Kano, where Ayo Adenaye is standing by to give us an update on what the mood is like in Kano. Ayo, very briefly, to bring us up to speed.
All right, good afternoon. I'm in Kano here. If you can hear me clearly, all is set for the presidential election, and the election this time is going to take a new twist, owing to the fact that the state have a presidential candidate in the person of Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, who is in the New Nigerian People's Party. And of course, yesterday he concluded his campaign, and there were a lot of issues that surrounded his campaign. And based on findings and what we had, and from the police report, there were about 4 persons was killed and about 85 people were arrested for the act of thuggery. But the people in the state seems to be ready, and like it has been said several times, that as much as no candidate for now can outrightly said the vote of Kano belongs to him because of the factor of the former governor of Kano State, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. And of course, we know the vote is likely going to be between the four candidates, the NNPP, the APC, the PDP, and the Labour Party. But for now, the electorate are all set and preparing to vote for their preferred candidate, not minding the incident that happened yesterday. Everyone that we've been able to interact with at one point or the other said yes, they are ready to vote, and owing to the fact that Kano have expected about 5 million collected voters card, collected PVC, those people are expected to come out in large numbers to cast their votes for their preferred candidate. But the city is calm, and as unusual, like people will expect, maybe there will be a lot of hitches or so, but people are going about their normal businesses today, and they are all preparing, though some are still stocking their homes in case of any eventualities. But I can assure you that the people of the state are prepared, and they are calm, getting set for the election tomorrow.
Well, I thank you so much for that reporting this afternoon.